Welcome everyone. 2019 election is just about 100 days away. And so tonight we're engaging the Director General of the Atiku campaign organization, former governor of Ogun State, Gbenga Daniel, who's been talking to us about his principal, Atiku Abubakar. Well, the campaigns will open very soon. So there are some crucial issues that Nigerians will hope to hear from these candidates. We have over 70 of them. So let's get back to the conversation now, everyone. Chief Daniel, what a former president, whom you know very well, Chief Obasanjo, I'm particular about this issue because it remains a very critical one, which the point we were making earlier, about some of the things that former President Obasanjo has said that he cannot guarantee the candidacy of Atiku Abubakar because of what he knows about him. How do we now believe, as Nigerians, the status of the Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who wants to be Nigeria's president?
Well, I think this matter is settled because, as you are aware, within the first few days of Atiku winning the ticket, he paid a visit to the former president, and I was right there when the former president read his own address, and he actually not only endorsed Atiku, he virtually gave it to him that he's supporting him as the next president of the Federal Republic. So I think that we must look at what has happened in the present versus what has happened in the past. You have to appreciate that from time to time, people change their views based on superior information. And I think what simply happened is that, you know, the former president, being a statesman, have evaluated all the people that are out there, and he came to the conclusion that Atiku Abubakar is the best thing for Nigeria at this point in time. And I think I'm happy with that.
Let me ask you, do you think Atiku Abubakar is the best person for the job of the president of Nigeria?
Without any doubt, in all ramifications, looking at all the issues, the circumstances that we have, I'm not aware of a better person who can lead Nigeria now better than Atiku Abubakar. And of course, the reasons are not so far-fetched. People have spoken about the challenges we have as a country. The problem of ethnicity, the divide that we have in terms of religion. This is a unifying factor. Well networked, the public sector, private sector, economic concept, everything together. When you look at the challenges that Nigeria have today, I am not aware, and I'm talking very, very seriously, and I'm not frivolous, of any of those people who wants to be president who can do it better than Atiku Abubakar today. That is my
The question will be why you think so, because this is a man who was vice president for 8 years. Some of the things that he said he wants to do, the question is that why couldn't he achieve it when he was vice president? And why does he want to be president when he's now over 70?
First thing first, you must appreciate that the vice president is not the president. Under our constitution, some people even call the vice president spare tire. It depends on the amount of work that the president wants to allot to the vice president. So they are not comparable for starters. But I think part of the reason why he qualified more is the fact that he's been vice president. He's been very close to the seat of power. He's learned a lot. And my own position, and I'm talking very seriously, is that if we look at the commencement of this republic, the Obasanjo presidency happens to probably be one of the best, looking at economy and all of that. And you must not forget that, especially during 1999 towards 2003, those golden years of the administration of Obasanjo, he put Atiku in charge of so many things, the economy, you know, privatization and things like that. And everybody agreed, without any exception, that Atiku did a very good job. So that's the way I'm coming from. And like I said earlier on, when you also look at the current challenges, the divide that we see, the religious fundamentalism that we've seen, the killings that we've seen, you know, that is a well-rounded person who has his network virtually everywhere. We need somebody who can unify Nigeria now. And that is what some of us have seen in Atiku.
It's just a lot of Nigerians who voted against the PDP about 4 years ago who perhaps are going to go to the polls again. And you remember that the PDP came forward to say Nigerians should forgive them. Do you think Nigerians have forgiven the PDP?
When you look at the performance of the current administration, the APC administration, I think most Nigerians agree that that PDP is probably 10 times better than what we are seeing now. I'm happy that PDP was bold enough. They couldn't have, gotten everything right to say, and indeed and in truth, where they misdid, they have apologized. PDP has demonstrated experience. They've demonstrated better governance, and they've learned. And part of what they've done correctly was to voluntarily hand over so that Nigerians have an opportunity to taste the other side. I think what people and Nigerians in particular must remember is that 2015 election, there were so many factors. The current president was not tested, so Nigeria wanted something new. Now, what we will do next year is to now look at both personalities, both administration. You can compare what happened under the PDP administration and the APC administration. You can consider what happened when Atiku was vice president, and now that we have His Excellency Buhari as president. And Nigerians are saying, when we look at all the factors, that we have not fared better. We fared much worse under this administration than it was when PDP was,
all right.
was there.
Chief Daniel, just for a moment,
let
me quickly cut you here. We've been trying to get across to Mr. Femi Adesina to have him talk to us live on the program, but I understand we have him on telephone now. Mr. Adesina, thank you so much for coming on the program. Security is... Okay, we lost him again. So your final thought tonight on the program, Chief Gbenga Daniel, is going to be how your party, your principal, is going to approach this campaign. He said he's going to restructure. We even hear that he's promising that he's going to only do 4 years. Can Nigerians believe him on how he said he was going to go about restructuring and really spend 4 years alone?
First and foremost, restructuring is something, from my knowledge, he has been speaking about since 2004. That's precisely some, how many years ago? 15, 16 years ago. So it's not something that he stumbled upon. But what I was trying to say before you, through the last question, is what the statistics have said. I think we must agree that it is indeed disaster that between the time this government took over and now, Nigerians, according to the Federal Office of Statistics, have lost 12 million jobs.
We have to go now, Chief Daniel, but you've not told us whether he's going to spend 4 years like we've heard. Is he going to spend 4 years? Just in 20 seconds so we can go.
Of course, that is what he has said. He's one who said it. It's not for me. I'm not him. And when you have opportunity to see him, you could ask him such questions directly. But what I'm talking about are statistics, which never lies. And when you look at the Office of Statistics, that is a federal government-controlled agency.
All right.
Really now these kind of figures. I think that if we look at the challenge we have today, the biggest challenge is we do have people who have gone to school and don't have jobs 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the line.
We're obviously out of time, but Chief Gbenga Daniel, the DG of the Atiku Campaign Organization, I must sincerely thank you for coming on the program tonight. And also, it's unfortunate we are unable to bring Mr. Femi Adesina as planned. But that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for being part of it. I'm Seun Akimale. Bye-bye.